Alright, if loving you is wrong, fans, here's my episode review for Season 5, Episode 5, Going Along for the Ride. And I have to say, wasn't a big fan of the episode. I'm glad I didn't stay up to watch it live because it honestly didn't intrigue me that much. And, well, yeah. I honestly don't even know what to score the episode, but for the most part, it felt like we were rehashing things that we had already seen. Like, for example, the first scene between Ian and Lucian was about, 7 or 8 minutes. Basically, Ian pops up saying, hey, Carl, the public defender, he's not answering the phone. I need to find him because Ian says he needs to know exactly what the Carl had told the, DA due to the fact that Larry seems to be asking the right questions, but for the sake of helping Kelly, if Carl says or does something wrong or slips, it's a situation where it can be very bad for Kelly. We know he's just basically down there to kind of get exactly word for word, I guess you could say, what kind of hard evidence Carl has that makes the DA worried. And Ian isn't doing a good job at projecting an act to Lucian, because it seems like Lucian can just tell that something isn't right here. It's like, well, Carl's doing exactly what you're telling him to do, so what's the problem? And then from there we have the scene where Lucian kind of teases Ian about, hey, I need to talk to you, but just not now. And then Ian kind of freaks out about it, and without even like poking or prodding around, Lucian just threw like a couple of stones in the river, causing a ripple effect, and without even saying so much as like 5 words, Ian just spills his guts out about, oh, there's nothing going on between me and Alex. Okay, man, yes, there's something going on. The sex was consensual. I just wanted to let you know. Did she come down here and talk to you? Well, Lucian didn't say anything. She just like, well, he didn't tell a lie and he didn't tell the truth. He just said a couple of words, and Ian automatically assumed that, whoa, wait. I want to let you know the sex was consensual. There was nothing foul going on. And again, it was kind of a funny scene. It kind of dragged on a bit too long, but I did get a couple chuckles out of it. Basically, Lucian's like, hey, I was going over to your house last night, saw through the window, you were on the stairs. She wasn't seemingly into it, enjoying it. So if she does do anything like that, try to file against you, then you have a witness. Don't worry about it. And yeah, so all that's to say, Lucian's going to try to call Carl. Ian's going to check in the courtroom, and they'll contact each other once they, figure things out. Then we go over to Brad and Marcy. She's comforting him about the whole situation with Alex leaving him with the kids, suggests getting a lawyer in order to get custody due to her neglect of her responsibilities as a parent. She even suggests Larry could help him out with that. And Brad will stay alone with the baby because Marcy needs to go show off the house. And basically he's like, look, I got to go to work. Are you sure you're okay? Brad's like, don't worry, I got it. And as soon as Marcy leaves and Brad kind of gets comfortable, the baby starts crying. All right, then we go over to Marcy and Randall. As Marcy comes out of Alex's house, I guess, Randall runs up to her, taunting her about being with Brad, threatens that they're not going to walk down the aisle. She throws it in his face about how, wouldn't it be funny if the baby you thought was yours gets raised by me and Brad? Okay, when this fool said bootleg replacement Alex, that was pretty funny. But really the gist of this scene is the eventual event that will happen based on that trailer we got a couple months ago where Marcy seems to have beaten Randall to a bloody pulp. No, I'm not going to put my hands on you. We ain't got to worry about that. Pretty much it's like, I'm not going to attack you now, but it's going to come. And, Marcy tries to taunt and play mind games with Randall, but Randall correctly says, I'm way better at this than you. So with that being said, Marcy hops in the car, drives off. Then we go over to Alex and Dr. Raston. I've been saying it wrong, my bad. I think I've been saying Raston, Ratson, but it's Raston. And yeah, we actually got an explanation. She's going there to get birth control pills, eventually have her tubes tied because she doesn't want to have any more kids. The doctor is obviously concerned because it seems like she's more of a friend, not just a doctor, and she cares about Alex and Brad. So when she steps out, after Alex has said, Brad's going to take the kids, even though he's not the father, who cares? I'm done. I want to live my own life. She calls. Brad doesn't really seem to care because really, It's a situation where it's beyond him now. That's really what it comes down to. So the doctor goes back in the room, gets the pills. Alex is like, "You called Brad, didn't you?" And then she leaves. I gotta say, Alex with the roughed up hair is really attractive. My gosh. And she sees these two guys who apparently got roughed up by a bull at the Cowboy Bar on Highway 66 or 65. I think it was 66 due to the Route 66. I think that was a song that the Cheetah Girls sang for the Cars soundtrack, I think. But in any case, it's like, okay, so did Alex go from black guys to white guys? Because if you notice, her accent in a lot of scenes happen to be that of a country girl as opposed to, her average everyday speaking voice. And it's like, what's this thing about white guys now when he used to be black? Or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe more personalities are coming out. We don't know. Then we go over to Larry and Ian. And again, this is probably one of the first big scenes where I'm like, okay, we're definitely rehashing. So Larry apparently got another call from the DA off screen and about her hearing things about the case and wants to know if Ian has anything to do about it, and questioning Ian's loyalties, apparently threatens him and accuses him of being soft. And it's like, well, you used to work on the case. Yes, we established this last season, but after you chewed him out for helping out Kelly because the church is such a big client, Ian got the public defender Carl in order to help Kelly since he couldn't have his hands attached to this case at all. So it's just really a waste of a scene. It really was. Then we go over to Alex at the bar. She's in different clothes. And we have Johnny. Oh, I was about to say Kyle from The Over. Yes, Brad Benedict with a beard. Awesome. Alex is, well, drinking a drink he calls I Just Got Divorced. She's using Brad's credit card to, well, for the 9 people who are in the, place. Hey, rounds for everybody and champagne on my ex-husband. Ha, 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 ha. And they flirting with him, blah, blah, blah. Literally, there's nothing to say here. And she rides the mechanical bull. Then she's like, I'm going to call my friend Esperanza. You're going to love her. She's Latina. And I'm like, oh. So Randall's looking over Alex's online profile again, calls her up because he's pissed. She's still drinking, suggests a sling in order to help him be better at sex. Taunts him. There's a lot of taunting in this episode. A lot of taunting and a lot of threats. She never loved Randall. She says, basically, you were just fun in order to compare to all the other guys I was with. Again, it was just a matter of convenience. They literally lived next door to each other, and the shed was kind of the meeting ground. Then she calls Esperanza to come down, and after that, Esperanza calls Natalie, who's outside of Burger Fast. Yeah, I mean, she's not in it, but she's out there sweeping up the parking lot. So, boom, we get to see Burger Fast for the first time in a long time. Then, Alex is in a condition where Natalie and Esperanza are rightfully worried. Natalie will get picked up in about 15 minutes by Esperanza at the restaurant, because I think they're both kind of going on their lunch breaks or whatever. Then we have Kelly screaming for Lucian, and he took my Bible. And then Steven goes to get Lou, tells him about how Kelly's going off about some Bible is contraband. You shouldn't have that. And Lucian goes to see her and like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'm thinking, well, Lucian, if you would have took the darn Bible, well, excuse me, not darn Bible, I shouldn't say that. If you would have taken the darn evidence along with the Bible, then this wouldn't have been happening. So then we go back to Alex on the bull. Again, this was a lengthy scene. It was kind of funny, but kind of lengthy. Esperanza and Natalie come down, worried about what exactly is going on. Long story short, Natalie thinks that Alex needs to just stay, given the fact that she's gone through a divorce and needs to kind of, sober up, and then she'll realize what she's missing. Because, yeah, the whole not wanting the kids anymore, that's a big step. And it's like, even though it would hurt, Alex, why don't you say that to your children's faces instead of just dismissing them entirely? That's the biggest thing for me. Esperanza thinks that they should take her home. And she's like, I'm going to be a waitress. I'm going to live here. My man, Johnny, he lives upstairs at the bar, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's literally nothing to say here. And again, I don't want to seem like I'm half-assing this review, but guys, there literally wasn't much of anything that actually happened in this episode. And again, I understand it's only episode 5. This season's supposed to be like 20 episodes. Some episodes will be fillerish than others. So don't feel like I hated this episode. It's just one that I really don't see myself revisiting because there's really no point. Let's see. Ian calls up Lucian saying that he found Carl at the courtroom, saying that, hey, at 3 o'clock at the police station, we'll all meet together and kind of, pull our resources together to see exactly where we're at in the case. Lucian confronts Eddie about the Bible. Eddie gets it out of his locker, and he's like, put on some clothes. I'm thinking, well, to be fair, Eddie was in nothing but a blanket, so apparently the pictures were flushed. Lucian leaves. Eddie actually has the pictures, but he calls Larry talking about, okay, this was funny. He's telling the secretary, Cindy, I believe, yo, put Sugar Britches on the phone. Sweet tits. And long story short, Larry doesn't want to have that discussion about evidence to help, win the case over the phone, come by the office, because, these phone calls are recorded for quality assurance properties and everything. But he's like, I think Eddie's looking for potentially $200,000 for this information that he can give over to Larry in order to help the church, in order to avoid a lot of bad publicity. And then we round out the episode with Brad working, on some things from home. The baby is relatively quiet. Brad leaves a voicemail for Chelsea, the babysitter, saying, hey, thanks again for staying late, but is it a possibility you can come by this afternoon around 3 after the kids get out of school so you can watch them? And then he checks and the baby isn't breathing. And I've done like 3 to 4 videos about the baby, so there literally isn't anything I need to say in this episode. During the week. So overall, this episode was really kind of boring, to be honest, and I know the score might seem a bit low, but I'm going to have to give it like, hang on, let me just skim through the notes again, because honestly, nothing really happened of note. I know this is going to seem bad, but I know some people probably be like, dude, it wasn't that bad. I'm going to give it like a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. And I know it's like, for me, giving out a 4 or anything less than a 5 is terrible. But guys, really, when you really sit and think about it, what happened in this episode? The cliffhanger about the baby, well, I predicted it being the cliffhanger. We got the setup of Larry and Eddie meeting over the photographs. Brad and Marcy, nothing happened there. Randall and Marcy just taunting each other. Ian and Lucian, the first 7 minutes were pretty useless. Larry and Ian, that scene was completely nothing but threats from Larry's end about things he already know Ian had a hand in. Then Alex at the bar, that took up a lot of the episode. And again, Amanda Clayton is bringing such a diverse range to Alex. It's like you don't know what side of Alex we're going to get in what episode. And then we got the setup of Randall going down to the bar next week to get Alex, and we know how that's going to be based on the preview. And honestly, that's it. Shoot, I was going to say a 3, but I'll say a 4, just because, again, we saw Burger Fast, Alex in a different outfit, hair roughed up, looking fine, and cameo by Brad Benedict, aka Kyle from the Oval. So 4 out of 10. Again, it wasn't a terrible episode, but it certainly wasn't a great episode or good. It's just the kind of episode where if it's on during like a binge-a-thon, it's like an episode I'll have on as background noise, but I definitely won't like pay attention to it because nothing really happens. So if there's anything that I may have missed where it's like, Jeremy, 4 out of 10, good gosh, what's wrong with you today? There's nothing wrong. I literally just thought it was a lackluster episode. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Everybody, hit the bell notification icon. That way you know when I post new content to the channel. Also, shout out to the patrons over on Patreon. To be honest, guys, I don't even know if I'm doing like any theory videos this week, because I'm about to record my trailer breakdown, but literally, what is there to say from this episode that I haven't already done videos on? I'm not doing any more baby videos because, well, I've done it all. Sis, will Alex care? Is the baby dead? Did Marcy kill? There's literally nothing to say. Maybe after doing the trailer breakdown, I'll think of something, but just know that, well, for simplicity's sake, I don't think this week is going to be full of If Loving You Is Wrong videos. But again, it's okay. It's only episode 5. Shout out to the patrons again. Sorry about that. I cut off my darn plugs because of that random thought. If you want to join in for $2 a month minimum, feel free to do so. Links to all my social media are in the description below. And if you'd like to donate to the channel at all, you can hit me up on Cash App or PayPal. But you just watching this video helps me out in more ways than you can know. So once again, 4 out of 10, pretty meh episode. And with that being said, I'll talk to you on the next video.